Hey sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn on the notification so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for all the love and support you all give me here. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So today it is something really very vital. You remember the video I did about a white nurse who used her fake white tears against black boys. Now this is like going far beyond what like it was supposed to be. And I mean, she was the one that stole the bike from the black boys, but now the story has changed that the black boys were the ones that stole the bike from her. And it is going round. People are interviewing her, set up a GoFundMe, GoFund her, not for GoFund her. And a Hispanic man is calling black people out for being mean, for not allowing the, he was like, how do you, a pregnant woman wants to steal your bike. You are supposed to allow her steal your bike, even if she is a KKK member. I mean, now they are shifting the narrative, the Karen is now the good person and the black boys are now the bad person. Now I understand what you all meant. A white woman's tears can really damage so many things for a black man. It is actually happening. And I am happy that a lot of people are also coming out to fight for the boy and speak up for the boy. And our beautiful black sister get a great analysis, on this. You know what? Step to the screen. I am going to roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. So straight up, here we'll go.
You know, to me, there is nothing more sad than seeing a person who belongs to a marginalized community sell his soul so that he can protect a white woman, a lying white woman who's attempting to weaponize her tears against another person of a marginalized community.
I made a video breaking down the racial hoax of the quote-unquote city bike Karen, and it got me thinking about a point and an aspect that I really haven't seen discussed anywhere else. Let's assume that she did truly go and just jack that bike from those young men. Why would those young men, seeing that she is very visibly pregnant, not just give her the bike? Like, wouldn't that be the gentlemanly thing to do? Imagine yourself being in the situation. You're a guy, and a pregnant woman comes to steal a bike from you. Are you going to look at this very pregnant woman, 6 months pregnant, and say, you know what? I'm going to fight this lady. I'm going to rip this bike out of her hands. Are you going to just, take the L that one time and be like, yo, this lady must be going through something? I just haven't heard anyone talk about that. Even if you know that she was like a flaming KKK member, the fact that she is so visibly pregnant, what society would you say it's a good thing for a man to physically fight back against a very pregnant woman? This woman provided receipts showing that she, in fact, had purchased the bike. And unlike the video had claimed, she had not stolen it from these young men. I just think that it even adds more insult to injury to show how much of dirtbags these dudes were. I know me, I would just take the L and give her the bike, even if I paid for it. But I guess chivalry is dead, isn't it? And what's even more wild is the same people cheering on these men, I promise, are the women's rights folks as well. Believing that women deserve to be in safe spaces, at the same time being like, yeah, rip a bike away from a pregnant woman. When Elon Musk said that wokeness is a mind virus, this is precisely what he's talking about, where the logic and principles of what it means to be a progressive or a leftist completely falls apart if it goes against the narrative being pushed by the woke. All that matters is, are you with us or against us? Logic doesn't matter. I'd love to hear some feedback from those of you that support ripping a bike away from a pregnant woman, even if she was the one that tried to take it from you. Are you gonna like punch her back, kick her? If she tries to attack you, you're gonna be like, hey, you know.
Now, since this whole city bike Karen thing exploded on the internet, there has been follow-up videos from both sides trying to point out they are in the right. The issue for me is not that she's pregnant. Let's just point it out. She's pregnant, not handicapped in any way. Pregnancy doesn't mean handicapped, nor does pregnancy mean that you're entitled to anything. Your pregnancy is your issue, your problem. Nobody has to bend over backwards to make life easy for you. That's number one. Number two, this woman was attempting to weaponize her tears against these black kids. And you're saying white women weaponizing their tears against black people leads to death or serious harms. And this man is saying, just give her the bike. Be a gentleman and just give her the bike. Ooh, these individuals, they are a special type of resident from the land of Tunisia. Y'all let me know your thoughts.
So I connected Monique Judge with the family of the young man featured in the City Bike Karen incident. She did this interview, and this article answers pretty much any lingering question anyone might have. Let me start by saying this. I made the first video to call out her behavior and say, hey, this is dangerous. Don't do this. Every video that I have made since has been in response to the disinformation campaign launched by her and her attorney. One that, by the way, has made this young man collateral damage. Oh, and by young man, everyone likes calling her the pregnant woman and framing her as a victim. The young man in this situation is 17 years old. He is a boy who, quite frankly, acted more like an adult in that video than she did. And yet, with all the press running her side of the story, no one bothered to contact us to find out Michael's story, said his mother. So one of the questions that came up after his receipts were produced was why, if he had it for so long, was it so little? One said 37 cents, and the one where he took it out after said 0. And they were like, if he had it for all this time, why does it say no amount? Not being from New York and not using City Bike, I didn't know that you could be an annual member, like you have a membership, and people who have the membership can take out a bike and ride it for up to 45 minutes with no additional cost. And the fee only starts after the 45 minutes. So it's extremely common for people with this kind of membership to take out a bike, ride it for 45 minutes, then dock it so it resets, and take it back out and continue riding it. Michael said it's his preferred mode of transportation. It's cheaper than using the subway, and he's getting exercise. This is how he gets around the city. The other question was, why did she want his bike if there were other bikes available? It's because there's two different types of city bikes. There's the regular old school ones, and there's newer ones that are electric, that assist you in pedaling. Michael and his friends had the electric ones. He said he looked for 20 minutes before he found the one he had, which is why he didn't want to give it up, because he was continuing to use it and he needed to get back home. So he and his friends docked their bikes and they're talking. His friends were sitting on their bikes. He was standing next to his with his hands on the handlebars. And that's when she approached. He said she walked up to him and said, "Can I please have this bike?" Michael declined. He said, "No, I'm about to take it back out." She then told him, "I'm pregnant. Can you help a pregnant woman out?" Michael said he then told her, "I'm sorry, ma'am. I've ridden this bike all the way from the Bronx, and I need this bike to get home." And I believe he was that polite, because he was pretty damn polite in the video when she was screaming help in his face. Michael said that's when Sarah Jane Comrie moved closer to him and his bike, leaned over him, and scanned the QR code with her phone, even as he had his hands on the handlebars. Now remember, her attorney said that she got on an available bike and made a point to say which no individuals were touching, and then as she backed up from the docking station, a group of 5 people approached her and claimed the bike was theirs, painting a picture of her being surrounded and them being thieves. His story says this is bullshit. No, he had his hands on it, she pushed her way onto the bike and attempted to remove it from the docking station to take it. It was 7:24 p.m., That's when the boys started recording video, because she started making a scene. But during that back and forth, it redocks, and he enters it back into his account. She sees this, and how does she respond? She snatches his phone out of his hand. The only actual attempted theft featured in the video. Her asking if she could use the bike acknowledges that it was in his possession, that he was standing with it. Her leaning across him and scanning it anyway is an entitled asshole move by any measure. But instead of owning that or just shutting up, they literally hire PR firms to write op-eds painting her as the victim and therefore painting him as the person who victimized her. And it worked, because when she posts redacted receipts and a story framing the boy as thieves, she gets all these supporters. Woman and a nurse who's pregnant gets slaughtered by the media and the left-wing cretins. Race baiters instead, who decided to staunchly defend a bunch of black youths, even though, again, it was the behavior. But when I post the receipts of the boys and their account, what proof do you have? So because the brother said it, it makes it true. When she says it, word is gospel. When they come back with a counterclaim, why would we believe this? Oh, but it does appear I was wrong about one thing, and I would like to acknowledge that now. I had said I didn't believe that this Twitter account, set up mere days before, claiming to be her attorney, was actually her attorney for multiple reasons. Like the fact that he was saying they were going to sue anyone who called her a Karen or anyone who retweeted that, which is a ludicrous idea and could never happen, and the fact that they couldn't even be bothered to spell foregoing correctly. So I gave the benefit of the doubt that this was not her attorney. But then that same account posted an unredacted version of her receipt, which I would think only her attorney would have access to, meaning this looks like it is her attorney's account. And now my opinion is he is a fucking moron. A moron who also goes on interviews and says shit like this.
Do you trust him to fairly investigate this, and if charges are warranted, bring them?
Quite candidly, we don't want charges for these individuals. My client has no ill will for these individuals. In fact, she wishes them the best. We think this is just a terrible mistake, a misunderstanding. We don't want the same scrutiny and misery that is applied to my client to go to these young men.
He says they don't want charges, but I think what he means to say is we don't want an investigation, because that might reveal that their account of things doesn't add up. And we don't wish them any ill will, but we will literally keep paying individuals like this for damage control that just happens to double as a smear campaign against this young man's character and the character of his friends. I've had a few people ask, why are you still talking about this? Because the damage is still being done. That last article was just posted like a day ago, and this young man has not had a voice. He's had no one standing up for him and letting his side of this be heard. I will say this, he and his family are absolutely setting up a GoFundMe. When they do, you better believe I will promote it, and I fully expect it to raise more than the 120 grand that she fucking raised.
Here we have yet another tale of systemic racism in America, as well as another tale about the evils of the social media mob. Over the weekend, a video went viral of a woman on a bike share in New York City. The video shows her crying as 5 black dudes tell her that it's not her bike and try to take it from her. Based on that alone, the internet concluded that she's a racist. Because every time a white woman cries as 5 black guys are around her, that's apparently racism these days. But this video has over 10 million views on Twitter. The woman, it turned out, was a nurse at Bellevue Hospital in New York City. And they posted that they are aware of the video and that it's disturbing. And they put this woman on administrative leave. Well, it turns out that this woman, whose name is Sarah Cumry, bought the bike herself, and that these guys were trying to steal it from her. Her lawyer gave the receipt for the bike to the New York Post. And the number on the receipt matches up to the number on the bike shown in the video. It also turned out that this woman is 6 months pregnant, had just finished a 12-hour shift at the hospital she worked at, and had got on this bike when these 5 guys came up to her and tried to take it from her. They filmed her crying and yelling for help, posted it on the internet, at which point the mob decided that she was a racist. And she even lost her job because of it. She also had her address posted on Twitter, and news outlets smeared her as a Karen, including this one that compared her to the woman who got Emmett Till lynched. Which, by the way, it should be illegal to smear people like this. You should not be able to write this shit without consequences. She and her husband also had to flee their home in New York City due to all of the death threats that they were getting. So welcome to America. We live in a country where if you are a 6 months pregnant white woman who just got off your shift as a nurse, and you're just trying to bike home when a bunch of black dudes come up to you and try to steal your bike from you, they'll film you crying and begging for help, post it on the internet, news outlets will smear you as a Karen, and you'll lose your job and be forced to flee your home. Look at my systemic racism, dog. There's also a verified GoFundMe being organized by her uncle, and I will post the link to it in the comments. Everyone who smeared this woman is a true evil piece of garbage. Like to the New York Post. And the number on the receipt matches up to the number on the bike.
It's funny how loud and wrong you can be. Like, if you look at the number right there, it shows she never paid for the bike. Because that number says $0.00 when clearly it's $4.49 to unlock the bike. And that's not even including, like, taxes. So $0, $4.49. That's what it's supposed to be. She never paid for the bike. She just never did. She showed a receipt of her trying to pay for the bike when it was already taken. But for you to get on Beyonce's internet and talk about 3 black men surrounded her and tried to steal her bike, that's slander. That's very much slander. And you got like 5 black dudes that can sue you for it. So good luck with that.
All right, this is all we got from the stitches, and I am gonna start by, it is amazing how people protect evil, how people, shield evil. It is glaring that the white woman wasn't the one with the bike. The black guys were the ones with the bike. And she started faking tears, screaming, help, help, help. You all can see now, like, all attention is all on her. Not even on the boy. She tried harming, right? Now I know and I understand better why you all say that a white woman's tears can really damage so many black people, so many black men. This is a typical example of it. And that Hispanic man, I have nothing to say, but you all know the deal already. Yeah, let them keep screaming, let them keep hollering. This is where I am going to draw the curtain. Thank you all so much for all the support. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.